Hi guys, and welcome to another attempt at making a flashcard. Today I've got an MBC30 which has crystal clear on it. Let's see if I can get that to focus a bit better. Come on, there you go. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, so I'm trying a different recording setup here because the last one was pretty garbage, to be honest. I didn't actually test that too much, which I really should have. So anyway, I've built this, which is a Sony cart reader. It's modular, so you can remove this Game Boy cartridge slot here. I mean, I don't want to remove it, but I mean I could if I wanted to. The battery is pretty much knackered, so that's irrelevant for now. I'm going to try and flash this once it's done with this, so I will have to swap the battery on it as well. And this is just what it's going in once it's done, because since it's an MBC30, that's this chip here, it can only come from a Japanese copy of Pokemon Crystal. So as you can see, the two screw holes here match up with the screw holes on there, so it's going into this shell once it's done. So I'll just put these off to one side now, and let's get to it. So let me right, so I've got a list of all the different things I need. Actually, I will have to open this one time because I need some chips out of it. So I have tried to do this before, and that's annoying. Sorry about that. Jingle jangle. So there's one screw. And the other screw. Silly me, I'm dropping things. Right, so if we open that, you can see that I've attempted to do things with it before, because this is a little bit burned. This chip here, which is the mask ROM, because what I was trying to do was turn this into a flashcard itself, but unfortunately the flash chips that I had before were broken, which is why that didn't work. So I mean, it's a perfectly working card. It doesn't have a battery, but apart from that it does work. In fact, I'm just going to double check that. Make sure that everything is working as it should be. Let's just put this on the screen here. Yeah, okay. That's good. So, chips are working. So let's start off by removing the chips that we will need, which are the MBC30 and this one up here, which is U4, which is an MM1134 apparently. So I'm going to need some hot air for that. So let's get some hot air, turn it down because I was doing a different thing. And I will need my tweezers, which are here. And I'll turn it upside down. So I'll just let it heat up a little first. I don't really bother with flux while removing chips because, to be honest, I don't think you really need to use it, because they come off fine without it anyway. So that's that little chip, and then I want the MBC30. And there you go. That's all I need. So let's turn that off and put this to one side and burn myself at the same time. I'll use these. Okay, so that's done. Ow. Why would... Sorry, I'm just getting a list of all the different capacitors and such that I need, and in the process banging my knee. Okay, so we will need capacitors and resistors. So let's start out with, I guess, resistors. So what I have here are 330s, which I do not need. It's the 330 Kia that I need. So this is pretty similar to the last one that I did, but like I say, I'm just trying a new method of recording. I'll put those off to one side and I'll try and get this open. The reason I am using this is it's a webcam instead of my phone. I mean, I was doing it at the same time last time, but now I'm not actually streaming at the same time, so this may work out better. So the 330 Kia is R1. So I'm just going to put these off to one side. Move that over there. And tin up R1, which is here. So this is organized a little differently. There's a few pads just here. Come on, focus. There. So you can see that it's C4, C5 and R1, so R1's on the far side. So that's just the one that I'm doing for the moment. And I need it at an angle to do so, because that's how I solder. Alright, so there you go. There's R1. Then I just need to tin the other pad. So that one is done. Then I need a 10 Kia resistor on R2 and a 1 Kia resistor on R3. So here's a 10 Kia. I'm also going to attempt to make this a little faster than last time, but I don't know how well that will go. Especially if this resistor doesn't want to come out. Or has it already fallen out and I've lost it? There you go. I did. I had lost it. So this is R2. And R2 is here, just next to the FRAM chip. So that goes on there. I can't help noticing actually that says GLC, GLC, GLC. Obviously that is for the date code for if you actually order this PCB from GLC, but this is a purple one and therefore I ordered it from Oshpark, and I guess they do not really care about that. And the final resistor, which I need, I'll put these away as well. Go in the thing, please. So the final resistor is a 1K, and that goes on R3, and R3 is located just to the bottom left of the battery. So let's open this. I see it, here it is, and that goes there. So let's tin that up. And get that installed. Okay. Right, that's R3. So next are capacitors. So let's see what we have. So we've got 5 0.1 microfarads or 100 nanofarads. Don't know if you can see that, but they're basically all of that kind in this bag. So you need 5 of those. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't want to put that in there because then I'll never figure out what it is ever again. Put that on side. And I will need 15 picofarads for the others, which is what that is there. Okay. God, it's very hot today. I live in the UK and we do not get very hot temperatures that often. I think today it's well, last time I checked it was 22 degrees Celsius. Right, so there's all of those capacitors there, and I will just tin up the pads, which are C1, C2, C3 and C6 and C7. There's C7. C4 and 5 are up there, so there's C6. Now actually, before I do that, I should have realised this PCB is an older version. It's revision 1.3, which means that C2 is down here in the corner, and that actually will interfere with the shell, so I'm not going to put that on. It's not super necessary, you can get away with skipping it. I mean, you really should put it on, but obviously if it's going to break the shell of the Pokemon Crystal game, then I'm not going to put it on. So I actually only need 4 of these, not 5. So, but obviously if I'd gotten the updated one, then I would have wanted that. I think it's just a smoothing capacitor to make everything work a little easier, but like I say, you don't specifically need it. There's C3. There you go. Then I will do 2 more on this side. I'll do C6 first, which is at the back here. I'm a little confused there, I can't see specifically what's going on. I'm going to have to get in a little closer. That's better. So there's C6, and then I only need C7. And the other pad. And there you go. So that's it for those. I'm just going to put this over here out the way. And then I need 2 15 picofarad. Oops. Oops. There. Right, and the 2 picofarads are obviously C4 and C5, which are up here next to where the crystal goes. Come on, turn around. There you go. Turn around. I might as well do both at the same time. That's not very pretty. I'll probably use a bit of hot air later to try and get those looking a bit neater, but for now that's good enough. Okay, so we've got all of our resistors and capacitors on there. Next, I'll do these 2 chips, since I already have them here. So I'll do... Oh, I've just realised this has actually got the little dot on it this time. So now it's easier to figure out which way this goes around, which is the other way around. Okay, so heat that up and get it into place like so. Heat up the opposite pin on the other side, and then I will need a little bit of flux. That's that side done. Why does this want to do this? Stop bridging. You don't need a bridge there, you silly pins. There you go. Okay. Just double check that's okay. Looks fine, although my pins don't look super amazing. So I'll probably clean that up a bit later as well. This does not like to focus, does it? Right, so then I'll do the MBC30. I need these tweezers because the other ones are too small. The dot goes into the bottom left, so that's the right orientation there. So let's put a bit of solder up there and try and align this up. I'm going to use these tweezers, I think. I think that's pretty good. Nope, it's at a little bit of an angle. Yep, that looks better. So then I'll just put a little solder on this side, and I'll start on this side. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do the opposite side. A bit of flux. Just double checking as I go. Yeah, that's looking fine. I'm going to need to move that solder that I used to hold it down. That's looking good. And then same again on this side. So you might notice that in the top left, I've obviously got this upside down, but when you're looking at it normally, in the top left you might get a solder bridge on, I believe, the second and third pins. Is that right? Yeah. That's normal because both of those are actually ground. I think you can see it just here. I guess, yeah, those two pins are actually ground, so there is meant to be a solder bridge there. So that's those two on. I'm quickly going to clean it to get rid of some flux. Because it's very sticky. Okay, so next we need 3 more chips. So I've got this here. So on an MBC30, what you want to use is one of these. Yeah, so you can use either an AM29FO32B, or this that I've got here is an MBM29FO33C, and both of those are pretty much the same chip. They're a 4 megabit chip, which is specifically why I'm making this, because the MBC30 chip, the mapper that you get on the crystal, is actually capable of addressing 4 megabits instead of 2, which pretty much everything else can do. I'll just leave that out because that's one of the RAM chips which I need for the FRAM. And I will need one of these as well for the sieve. For this is that little I think it's like an input, 3 input OR gate. I keep forgetting what it is, to be honest. But that's the, whatever it is, the 74 LVC 1G332GV maybe? That's my writing. I've written that on, and even I can't read it. Come on, open up. Gimme, gimme. There you go. Right, so I want one of those, which is there. Put that away. And I only need one of these. Right, so that's all 3 of the remaining chips. I'll just open the FRAM. Don't need that. So I think what we'll do first is we will do the little input gate, which is 6 tiny pins. So what I'm going to need is my magnifying glass. So the dot is in the corner, and this is upside down. Still upside down. There you go. Okay, so the dot goes this way around. So that's the right orientation. So now I need to solder it in. So I'll just move that out the way slightly, tin up. Oop. My soldering iron went off. Oh, I didn't realise that with that. So I need to tin up one of the pads, like so. And there you go. Actually, that's at a little bit of an angle. I don't like that. I think that's better. Yeah. Bit of flux. No solder. Nope, that is actually at an angle as well. So I'm kind of glad that that solder didn't even go on. Yeah, see, I'm trying to go a little faster, and obviously you want to be careful with this as well. I shouldn't really be going or trying to go as fast. Got a little bridge on that. Okay, I'm going to need some braid. So I'm going to cut off what I've already used. And see if I can get rid of a little bit of this. There you go. I'm just going to add a little bit of flux because that joint does not look great. Okay, that looks a little better. Like I say, I'll probably clean this up later on anyway. And there you go, that's that one done. Let's do the next easy one, which is the FRAM chip, which is an 18, no, it's an FM18W08. So the dot is there, so it goes this way around. Needs to come towards me a little. That's better. Okay, so I'll put a bit of flux on, clean my soldering iron, and here we go. Bit of solder. Yeah, man. There you go. Nice and easy. And then the other side. And there you go. That one pretty easy, but to be fair, the pins are quite huge. Like the gap in between them and such. So I'm going to clean this again because I've done that chip and the little input gate. And now comes the important part, which is the flash chip itself. So when it comes to this, this is a TSOP 48 footprint on the PCB itself. The 29F433C does not have 48 pins. It's got 40, I think 40, yeah. Because, as I said on the last video, which possibly you may not watch because it was pretty bad quality, the 2 pins on each corner of this chip, in fact I'll show you, you might be able to see that the pads are quite large in the corners. That's because those pins are not actually connected internally. So when you're using a 29F432B, you would be fine with just filling it up. But when it comes to the 29F433C, you only get 40 pins, which means you need to center it. So this is going to be a little tricky. But you basically just want to avoid those big pads at the corners. Alright. That looks pretty well lined up there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my soldering iron, a little blob of solder on it after I heat it back up, and just throw that on there. Let it cool down, and there you go. I just want to double check that this is still lined up. In fact, I'll use my magnifying glass. Yep, that looks lined up pretty well. I'll show that if I can. Obviously I've got a giant blob of solder on it. Come on, focus please. How about a bit further away? There you go. Okay, so I'll put a little blob of solder on this side as well, and then we will get fluxy. Time to get fluxy. Now, I mean, I could put solder on the pads in the corners. It really would not matter. But I kind of want to try and avoid it. I may not be able to, at which point I will do every single corner. But I just want to see if it's possible. Alright, so we've got a little bit too much solder on this side. So let's add a little flux and see if we can get rid of some. Okay, still a little bit too much. Yeah, we've got like 3 bridged connections just at the edge there. There we go. I think that's good now. I'm just going to quickly check with my microscope. I see a microscope, it's a magnifying glass. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. And I did manage to avoid the edges, so that's nice. Bit more flux, and try and flow. Let it flow, let it flow. That C1 is in the way slightly. I kind of wish that I'd waited on that one. Right, so obviously there's quite a lot of solder on there, so I'm going to have to remove some. That's wicking up quite nicely. So with these 29 F433Cs, I don't actually know if they work. So there's every possibility that even if I've done everything perfectly, it may just not work at the end, like my original 29 F416Bs. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I've just soldered my braid to it. I don't think that's going to happen because these are actually quite expensive, so I would imagine that they've probably tested them. Or at least I hope they have. There you go. But we shall see. Just magnify. Okay. Looks like there may be a tiny bridge on the left side, and it looks like I've actually missed the last pin entirely. Okay, let's see how that went. Not that way. Okay, so the bridge is gone. And apparently I'm incapable of focusing. Yeah, that looks better now. So what I'll do, I will clean it up once again. I will pour some IPA all over myself, because I am a giant dummy. Might as well use it. Clean up slightly. Okay, so theoretically that is now incorrectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to desolder this battery from my Sani card reader, because it is literal garbage. Come on, out you come. I mean, just to put in perspective how garbage it is, I will just use my multimeter to double check. So I charged this last night. I haven't used it at all since then, and now we've got 1.5 volts. I checked it earlier, it was at 2.2, so clearly I need to throw that away, in which case I need a battery for this. Yeah, we'll try this one. Obviously this will not fit inside, but I'm just going to test with it. Actually, I will take these wires, however. No use wasting perfectly good wires. So we've got positive just here. This is a very awkward angle that I'm doing this at. And I guess negative would be this just here. That did not work. Okay, I don't know what I'm soldering to, but I suspect that it is not the negative. Is it? This is a very strange battery. I think it is. Yeah, there you go. I'll just see how much power is in it, which probably I should have done first, come to think of it. 4.1. Okay, so that battery is pretty full. So battery negative, and battery positive. There you go. Is my positive on the negative? It certainly is. There you go. Right, so turn it upside down, and that works. Good. So let's get the shell. Put that in there. Put that in there. And see if we can do anything with this. So I'll see if I can do this backwards. So cartridge reader, can we focus? Can we focus, please? No, we can't. I'll just have to look. So we want Game Boy. We want to do Game Boy Color. What does that say? Yeah, we don't have a ROM on it, so that's fine. We do not want to read. We want to flash, I guess, an MBC3. And go into Game Boy, ROM. And I want crystal clear. Let's see if that works. Yeah, unknown flash ROM. I was worried that might happen. So I guess what I'll have to do is try this on my computer the way I did before. So I will just quickly do that. Doo-ba-doo. Alright, so I've got it plugged in. I will put it on. You can definitely see that it's a Fujitsu, so I will just attempt to write the flash. Actually, I'll erase the flash first. So I can't show it this time, but I've got one of these GB flashes that HDR makes, or rather designed. I made this. It's basically just a GBX cart, but it can only do Game Boy and Game Boy Color. It can't do Advance. And I've just got the software on my PC erasing the flash of the thing I just did. And now I've just set it off to write the flash. I could show this on my phone before, but on here it's a webcam, so it's a bit more tricky to move. I'm quite disappointed that this didn't work. I might have to see if there is a way to get that to work. I mean, I guess it's because it's an MBC3 or 5 writer, whereas the thing I'm actually working on is MBC30. It might just be 1-0 difference, but it is important. Oh dear, it appears to have timed out. I see it timed out. It has put on something, so it has worked. I'm guessing the timeout is related to my PC, or this, rather than the cartridge itself. Okay, I'm just going to edit this out. Back in a minute. Hey, so I have managed to flash it. That was not easy. So what it looks like is, I'm not sure why the GB flasher didn't work. Maybe I just didn't have the contacts correct. But I've used the GB card, which is one of these. There you go. So it's an Inside Gadgets flasher. Obviously it can read and you can get saves off and such. Why will you not focus, damn it? Why are you such garbage? Well, anyway, it says Inside Gadgets GBX Cart RW version 1.3A Pro. So that's what I've used to flash it. I'll just show that it works. So there you go. Obviously this does not like to focus for some bizarre reason. I like that you can actually see the swine up here. That is cool. Oh, there you go. There's the little swine ups. Oh, that is bright. Swine up. Anyway, so that's working. Now I will just finish it off because it needs a crystal and a battery. So put that on one side, do that. So for the crystal I will need one of these. This is, I think it's a 32 point something megahertz or kilohertz. Honestly I forget what an RTC clock actually is. It's not written on the thing itself. So like I said in the last video, which again you may not have watched, I like to bend the pins into a sort of diamond shape. Again, you're not really going to be able to... Oh, it actually did focus for once for a second. So I bend it into a diamond shape and then bend them sort of outwards, and then that just pops in there, and that's pretty much in the right shape. Just make a couple of minute adjustments and solder that in. Dun-de-dun. Just waiting for it to heat up, which it now has done. I'll just let it wick along because it was moving the whole crystal and I don't want that to move. There you go, that's that sorted. And then I need one of these for the battery. Before I do that, however, since everything is still pretty flat, one last clean. And I'll just do the back because why not? Just let that dry. Okay, so this goes in this way. So let's just put a bit of solder onto this pad. And I will 100% burn myself if I attempt to do it while just holding this. Which is why I am going to use my tweezers. I'd like to get this straight, so there you go. Doesn't look very nice at the moment, but I will sort that out after I put some solder on this pad. And there you go. And then I will sort this out. And there you go, that looks pretty nice. So I still have to adjust this a little, just to make the capacitors and such look a bit nicer. And I want a CR 2025 to put in there. And it just slides in like that. And there we go, all sorted. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Come on. Look, you can't see a damn thing other than my hands. Just focus on the cartridge, please. Ugh, I hate this webcam. Maybe I will try my phone again in the future. We'll see. So, like I said, this is going into this shell. I've got my screws here, my screwdriver here, jingle jangle as always. And there you go. Let's just confirm that it is all working as intended. I do like to do that. I don't know why. So it's playing. That's a start, a good start. And let's see if it saves. So I'm just going to go through with all of the default stuff for now. I don't know if that's easily visible or not. It's glaring quite a bit on the light, isn't it? So we'll just go with Bulbasaur. I use the starter ball. Wow, that's really hard to see, isn't it? Let's see if I can do it upside down. I mean, I can't actually see it on what I'm recording on. Yeah, I can't see. So basically I'm choosing day at 1 o'clock and 3 minutes. Sunday, I don't want to hear about the ROM hack because I know about it. Save the game for soft resetting. I obtained Bulbasaur. Not a shiny one. Right, so if I save the game again. Right, so the game is saved. Let's go turn it on and hold down the select button to take us straight to the title screen. So the day is 1:03, so that's the right time. I will just unplug it to get rid of any voltage that might be going into it from the Game Boy, which realistically isn't going to happen, but just in case. And yeah, I don't know how easy that is to see, but it's day 104, and there you go. So that is now an FRAM cartridge, which means that the save will never vanish unless the FRAM actually gets damaged. The battery I put in is only powering the real-time clock, so that will probably last for quite a long time because it's not powering the save as well. And there you have it. Nice crystal clear. So now I need to get a nice label for this. And that's an MBC30 cartridge. I will have to investigate whether this is actually capable of doing an MBC30. If not, I guess I'm restricted to this and possibly my GB flasher, because it did attempt to write it. It did work a little bit, then it timed out, but then when I checked the cart info, it did actually write a little bit to it, so I think it works. I think it was just a problem with my computer, but I mean, I guess if you want something guaranteed to work, this is what I've just used to flash it. So there you go. Pokemon Crystal Clear. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.